I'm Jorge Escobar from Patrol District 4, and this is Inside HCSO.
QF 47 and 37 are dispatched.
SO1, we've got them. 1015 times 1, stand by.
337-820-584.
Here's a look at what's ahead on this episode of Inside HCSO. A burglary attempt at a Little League concession stand falls flat. Robbers terrorize employees and a customer in a convenience store. And a group of kids get served a heaping helping of football with a side of life skills. Hello and welcome, and thank you for watching. I'm Captain Chad Chronister. It's time to go inside HCSO. Teens with guns and a taste for cash and video games kept deputies busy in town and country. Corporal Scott Carr is here to tell us about the outstanding teamwork and coordination that ended the violence.
I appreciate that, Captain. This is what we had was an armed home invasion at the Princess Motel on Hillsborough Avenue. About 3 o'clock in the morning, 2 victims were laying in bed and they heard a knock at their door. They went up to the door and 4 people forced their way inside of the hotel room, 2 of which had handguns on them. While inside, they took an Xbox, some video games, a wallet, some money, and then they fled. Luckily, one of the victims knew one of the suspects, and they were able to lead patrol over to the address where they may be located at. 3 of the 4 suspects were actually there at the house. Inside of the house, after they allowed us to search, we found a .40 caliber high-point handgun, which was used. And also, further search of the house, we found a 9mm with a suppressor and a pressure-padded laser pointer on there. It's unfortunate to see how individuals at this age are out there on the street with weapons committing armed home invasions.
If you haven't heard of car hopping, then take notice. It's a problem all over the county, and it's usually juveniles with too much time on their hands. Here's Detective James Howe with more.
What occurred that night is we had a group of juveniles, typically it's juveniles or late teen adults that entered that neighborhood and they engaged in an activity that we call car hopping. They entered this subdivision in West Bloomingdale, did the car hopping, went inside 11 different vehicles. They did get some wallets inside those vehicles, and they did get 1 weapon. After leaving the Bloomingdale area, that neighborhood, they wound up at the Bloomingdale Little League concession stand. 3 of the 4 individuals at that point attempted to break into the concession stand. Fortunately, when they raised the window after defeating the lock in the concession stand, an alarm sounded and they fled the scene. We learned a short time after solving these 2 cases involving the vehicle burglaries and the concession stand that one of the detectives had a print hit from one of the juveniles. He did make his way over to Apollo Beach, and he was involved in a residential burglary that occurred in Apollo Beach. Someone entered the home, they basically trashed the inside of the home, drew sexual organs on some of the walls. One of the lessons from this type of crime spree is that it's absolutely imperative that folks lock their cars up, not leave things inside the vehicle that can be stolen, and double check their cars before they go inside in the evenings.
Instinct and flat-out good police work led us to a sedan suspected of being at the scene of several burglaries in eastern Hillsborough County. Deputy Jeremiah Jackson tells us all about it.
Sure, happy to be here, Captain Chronister. The citizens alerted me in reference to suspicious activity. They had seen males and females bringing in what appeared to be televisions and boxes. I observed activity for approximately 3 days. While approaching the house, I was alerted by the vehicle that was in the driveway, which was a gray in color Impala. We were looking for a gray in color Impala in reference to a series of burglaries that was occurring. Upon knocking on the door, I noticed movement coming from the window. It drew more suspicions that I could be possibly onto something. Detectives came out along with the suspect's father, who lured the suspects out the house. Once they were out the house, we identified them as being a part of the burglary, the series of burglaries that were occurring in the neighborhood. Sometime with right teamwork and being at the right place at the right time, we get the job done.
Take a look at what this security camera captured at a racetrack convenience store on Bloomingdale Avenue. It was just before midnight when two men rushed inside. Both wore white t-shirts around their heads and faces, and one carried a large revolver. They grabbed a customer from behind and forced her at gunpoint to the cashier counter. When the store manager emerged from the back, he was thrown to the ground. The robbers then took cash from the customer and the register and ran out the door. Give us a call if you have any information on these violent criminals. A gruesome crime from 2011 demands some answers. Please take a moment to watch and let us know if you have any information.
Homicide detectives have been actively investigating a case involving the disappearance of two women. One is believed to be dead and the other is still missing. The last time anyone saw 38-year-old Kelly Moriarty and her girlfriend, 62-year-old Doris Carter, was December 16, 2011, at Carter's Plant City home. A few days later, motorists spotted Moriarty's black Cadillac along State Road 62 in Manatee County. It was abandoned but in good condition. Then a few days later, human remains washed up on shore in St. Petersburg. They belonged to Kelly Moriarty. Since mid-December 2011, no one has seen or heard from Doris Carter. The two often frequented a popular bar in St. Petersburg called Georgie's Alibi. They were spotted there 2 weeks before they disappeared. I'm Corporal Felipe DeCobo with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office Homicide Section. If you know anything about this case or have any information, please contact the Homicide Section. Help us bring closure to the families who are desperately seeking answers about their loved ones.
Down, set, hike. Yep, the legacy and spirit of our beloved Freddie Solomon was in full swing at the annual youth football camp. Sure, the kids sweated, they worked hard, but the takeaway will stay with them for years. Take a look.
Freddie's no longer with us, but his legacy continues every time we have these events. For the young men that are here, I want you to understand that the name that you have written across your chest today was a person that believed in making a difference in other people's lives. So as you go through your life, we want you to do that. Make a difference in other people's lives.
1, 2, Freddie!
What we have going out here today is we have the 2014 Freddie Solomon Football Camp, and it's such a wonderful event. They gather 75 young men from the community and they bring them out here and teach them some great football skills, but also one of the more important things they talk about is something that Freddie Solomon always preached, which is be better. They want these kids to not only learn how to be better football players, but they want them to go out of here and be better kids in their schools and in their communities and in their families. And that's such an important skill for these young men to learn.
When you here, don't stop and pause. Here, get them right back moving. Your feet gotta keep moving, quick.
Their coaches are volunteers. They come from our Tampa Bay Youth Football League. They also come from Hillsborough County School System, and several of these guys are deputies from the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office. Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office is one of the sponsors of this football camp, and it's such a great way to bring these communities together. We have young men here from the Freddie Solomon Boys and Girls Club in the Nucio area. We have some from the Family Enrichment Center, and it's just a great way to bring these young people together and let them have a good time out here on the camp.
Nice.
We hope you enjoyed this latest episode of Inside HCSO. Sheriff David G. and all of us at the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office are grateful for your interest and support. As always, you can keep up with HCSO on Facebook and on Twitter. By the way, there's still time to donate school supplies for 4 deserving schools as part of our Sheriff's Most Wanted campaign. Donation boxes are in all of our division offices as well as the Operations Center in Ybor City. We thank you in advance for helping to brighten a student's day. Looking forward to having you back with us next time. Until then, stay safe, Hillsborough County.